We're already off the rails and the show hasn't even begun. Happy Friday, everybody. This is going to be a Friday Funday for the books. Thank you all so much for tuning in to the PHNX Coyotes Podcast. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and leave us a 5-star review. I'm here with Petey and Craig, and we are so excited to welcome in Patrick Brown to the panel.
Hi.
Welcome, Patrick.
Patrick, before we get started, can you tell us about your tour?
My tour.
Your stand-up tour that kicks off next week, I believe?
Things have been delayed a little bit because next week is Meredith, my wife's birthday. So we've got the birthday week celebration. But still looking for that first club to actually accept my audition tapes. So if you're out there and you're watching, would love to do. I've got the Seinfeld Lego set at my desk, so I'm working on the stand.
You have a Seinfeld Lego set.
Heck yeah, and the office.
See, it's funny you brought up birthdays.
Oh, God, here we go.
Oh, no.
There we go.
Because my son is blaming me for ruining his birthday. Oh, it's ridiculous. I didn't even know it was today.
Can we get like a boo sound effect?
We really need that.
We need a booing. Okay, there's going to be a lot of dad jokes in this.
And we trust Max more than FOJ, by the way.
FOJ. Foj?
Isn't it? Foj?
Yeah.
Does we say Foj? We don't say FOJ?
No, it's Foj.
Foj.
So, Petey,
yes.
Next week, earlier this summer, I took a week off and took the kids to Legoland in Chandler.
Yes.
It's crazy how busy it is.
Yes.
People are lined up for blocks.
I think this might be the entire
Here we
show.
go.
Hey, can you show the people what you brought with you today? The dad jokes.
Okay.
The dad joke. So
Craig warned me to come prepared, so
Hold it up. Let him see. He brought two
I
books.
came prepared.
two dad joke books.
What can I say?
This is gonna. Oh my
Oh,
God.
no.
Some of these are better than others, but
we might get there.
Yeah, we'll get there for
let's
sure.
We got to learn about Patrick
Yes,
Brown
we need a little
first.
bio on Patrick Brown. So, go.
Summarize your entire life. 60-second starts. I'm just kidding.
I am a product of the Midwest.
Thank
through
goodness.
and
Yeah.
through.
There's three of us here that can attest to that.
Born in Detroit. My dad got transferred to Chicago when I was
Thankfully.
a kid, so grew up in the suburbs of Chicago. Naperville's the specific suburb, and then went to college in Iowa State University. Go Cyclones!
In Ames.
Not
beautiful,
the
beautiful
Hawkeyes.
Ames.
Not the
Not
Hawkeyes.
Iowa City. Ames.
Ames,
Ames.
Iowa.
Ames. The Cyclones. By the way, it's a good football program. They got good basketball.
Basketball's always been the thing. Football's been on the up and up last decade or so. Matt Campbell doing good things.
Could be talking about that conference a lot more in the coming years.
Yeah. That's we'll see if
We'll see.
ASU and U of A make the jump, right? That'll be
You think
fun.
so? Is that a thing?
What?
Buddy, I don't know. I follow hockey. I don't. The rest of it, who
Okay.
cares? HK.
Sorry, toe tree and chain.
Okay,
Yeah, sorry.
carry on your bio.
Uh-oh.
So Iowa.
I've taken you off the rails,
Yeah.
and we're like 2 minutes.
No,
in.
It's gonna
classic.
happen 20 more times. But it's okay.
Went to Iowa State College, J School, majored in journalism, minor in general business because, I started out majoring in finance.
Oh, wow.
And after taking almost 2 years of business courses, I said, no, not for me.
Got that
but
in
I
common.
had enough to, at that point,
You were going to
Get
be an
him on.
accountant?
finance. Yeah,
Finance.
it wasn't accounting, it was finance.
Finance. Yeah.
I don't know. But I started working for the school paper and just fell in love with it.
Wow.
Covered women's basketball. Bill Fennelly out there. He's an institution in Ames with the women's basketball program and unbelievable guy. Taught me so much. And obviously, I was just a reporter. And I fell in love with it. Got lucky enough to intern with MLB.com in Seattle with the Mariners. One summer spent in Tacoma. And then the next summer spent in the Bigs. I got called up. So spent it with the Mariners. And then, graduated. No journalism jobs to be found in December of 2007.
Something's never changed.
Yeah.
So from there, I jumped into the world of business and did like IT-ish stuff, all the while continuing to blog, to write, cover sports.
For
do
free,
whatever I
all
could.
on your own.
I freelanced with MLB.com for a
Okay.
while too. Did minor league notebooks for the Northwest League, the Pioneer League, things
Sure.
like that. Waiting for my chance. And came to Phoenix almost 10 years ago, July 2014.
Why?
My wife, who was just my girlfriend at the time, we were doing long distance. We had met in Chicago. She's a pastry chef, an amazing amazing chef.
Ooh, I did not know this.
Oh yeah.
Did you guys see any trays come
So
in?
if you're
Oh, yeah, where's,
yeah, just
where's
single
the
tray.
pastry?
Come on, the
Literally.
proof is
Your wife's a
right here.
Okay, so she's not still a pastry chef.
Well, she's with the kids now.
Once a pastry chef, always a pastry chef.
But
Yeah, I
she
know.
was-
That's
she's an incredible pastry chef. She was actually executive pastry chef at Scottsdale National Golf Course here,
No way.
which is owned by Bob Parsons.
wow.
So when we had Ozzy, our oldest, who's now 5.5, he was born. He had a rare condition called craniosynostosis. Don't need to go into it, but long story short, had brain surgery at Phoenix Children's
Oh my
Hospital.
gosh.
Oh my
Phoenix
gosh.
Children's is very, very near and dear to my heart because of how they treated us. He was only 4 months old when it
Oh.
happened. He's fine. He's great. He's a perfectly normal, crazy 5-year-old, and he's probably watching. So love you, Oz. But when that all went down, we wanted the opportunity, hopefully, for Meredith to stay because it was hard. It was hard on all of us.
Yeah.
So she did, and that's when she kind of left the formal profession. But let me tell you, she still just
She can do it.
Unbelievable. Her biscotti, next level. Her spaghetti carbonara, next
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
level. And
Oh
the
my-
list goes on and on. Like I said, the proof is in me. But yeah, so been here.
But how hockey then?
Hmm?
How hockey? I didn't hear hockey once in that whole resume.
Well, I mean, I've always been a hockey fan.
Yeah.
It might be a sin. It's probably a sin to say this, but grew up a Red Wings fan.
Yeah, don't say that.
I thought
here.
you were going to say Blackhawks, and I was
Yeah,
like, oh,
No,
God.
I grew up a Red Wings fan in
It's even
Chicago,
worse.
which was
Red Wings
brutal.
is
we
terrible
have
here in
we
Arizona.
have a Red Wings fan in our chat.
Yeah.
Roaring Fork.
It was
Yeah.
brutal growing up a Red Wings fan in Chicago,
Major.
but it really, honestly, it turned my love on for the game because I could only watch games when they were on ESPN. There was no anything like we have right now. So just the nationally televised games, or I couldn't even watch them when they were in Chicago
Yeah.
because the games were blacked out.
'cause, yeah.
Dollar bill works. Didn't want him on TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it became my favorite sport instantly. It was always outside playing cul-de-sac, driveway, whatever. I was a goalie, not nearly as good as Craig.
Come
but
on.
I was a goalie.
How does this always happen?
Yeah.
How does this always happen?
Yeah, it's unreal. Surround yourself with because they are the
Everyone is a
smartest people in
Yeah,
hockey.
usually the best
by the
people
way.
in life.
A little bit
Goalies,
crazy too.
Yeah, a little bit crazy, but
Oh
really.
my God.
I got a good question about the journalism path that you had to take. And we talked about this with Craig too, because it's hard. It's a hard business. It really is hard. And I work with a bunch of kids that went to the J school here, and it's hard.
Yeah.
It's a hard way to make a living. If you had to give advice to somebody right now that's coming out of the journalism school, what's your best advice for somebody that's just trying to get into this business?
It's so cliche, but you gotta just stick with it. I mean, I'm literally proof of that, right? 13 years it took me of just hammering out whatever I could do, writing for whoever would let me write for them, whether I was paid or not or whatever. That's what I did, and actually, what led me to the Coyotes was
You worked for free?
Well,
Never mind.
No, not
No, I didn't say that. Coyotes. It was
No. I worked for this blog, The Hockey Writers.
Yeah.
I owe them so much because of the opportunity they gave me where I actually started writing for them about the Red Wings. And an opportunity came up to get credentialed at Gila. And so I applied first through the Hockey Writers. They approved me based on previous writing and stuff. And then our credential manager reached out to Rich Nairn, my boss, and they ended up credentialing me. So I spent the year covering the team
for the Hockey Writers. Yeah.
for not a whole lot.
Yeah.
It's a blog, but you put in the work. And again, all the credit goes to my wife, who I was getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, working my day job from home, doing everything. And then I'd go to games, every single home game I'd go to at night. That's where we met. Actually, we met the first time I met you was the first story I covered was the hockey internship, the very first one they did with Nathaniel and Dante. And I remember being all intimidated in the green room there, not the green room, but the press room at Gila, sitting like right behind you.
Yeah, and Craig Morgan. If that gives you nerves, buddy, we're in trouble.
Well, look at me now.
Craig's
Is this show
intimidating.
over yet? Is this show over yet? Intimidating Craig.
It was
Craig's
just,
intimidating.
it was
when you first
just
meet
look at
him.
that stare.
Tell him to be quiet over there.
Look at that stare. No, this is it's amazing
Jacob,
to
can you
hear,
cut Pete's
but it
mic
is
for a little
amazing.
while?
Like, but that's what I was just talking to people here in the office today. Find what you love to do, and then find a way to make money doing it.
And what
you did.
And Meredith repeats this all the time because I do suffer from imposter syndrome every now and then. I would say, and feeling like I just got lucky at times. And she reminds me, and I think these are words to live by. Luck is, like good fortune is when preparation meets opportunity. You create your own luck.
Luck comes to those who are best prepared.
And I spent a decade plus preparing for a shot, finally got a shot, and was lucky enough to now literally be working my dream job. And
is it when you work for the team though, and just when you're on the outside working the Hockey Writers or as an independent writer, and now you're working for the team, does it change your perspective on how you write, what you write, when you write?
There are certain things that I don't think I'd ever waver on in terms of obviously accuracy and things like that. But, I am a team employee. I'm not an independent journalist or anything like that. So I think it's certainly a matter of perspective there. But I'm so proud to do what I do. I'm so proud to work for this organization. Obviously, there are times where this organization takes flack for whatever reason. And it's just, and Craig and I talk about it frequently. It's people not knowing. It's people not doing research. It's people, I don't know. It's just people being stupid. I am so proud to work for this organization. I am so proud to be, colleagues with all of my colleagues, everybody I sit by, everybody on the PR team, and beyond. So I'm just incredibly lucky, happy to be here, and happy to be, covering hockey and literally working my dream job. So long-winded answer to your really simple question. Stick with it. When you don't think anybody's listening, somebody might be. When you don't think anybody's reading, somebody might be. Which could be a good and bad thing, but stick with it. And when that opportunity comes, you'll be ready.
I love that. What was something your first season with the team that like maybe you surprised you or you learned or was just like not what you expected? This is going to sound really cliche, but just how down to earth the entire team is. Like, people don't necessarily realize, and it's cliche, but they're just people. And they're really, really good. Like, I think maybe some of the things that have caught me off guard the most is like the personal relationships that I have fostered with some of the players and front office and staff and everybody from top to bottom.
Even Jimmy O'Neill? Sorry, Jim.
Especially Griff. Especially
Griff.
Jimmy O'Neill and Griff.
Buddy. Buddy.
No,
if you know, you know. No, but it is, but you say that about, and you've covered other sports who hockey's just different. Yeah. Hockey players are different.
Absolutely. And it's, I had, when I was in Seattle, there were times I was rough. It was rough being the new guy. Kind of cool overlap when I was in Seattle. You know who was on the team? Willie Bloomquist.
Nice.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. That was pretty
Arizona
cool.
ties.
I did a story then. And so Arizona State and Michigan were playing in the College World Series, and Willie Bloomquist and JJ Putz were on that Mariners team. JJ Putz obviously went to Michigan. Obviously, Willie Bloomquist went to ASU. So that was kind of a fun little story that I did on the College World Series. And I forgot where we were going. I took us off the rails, but what was the question?
I just wanted to say that the players were down to earth, and you see that in some sports, I'm not saying that they're not, but hockey players are
100%, and you see that at every level almost. I'd say too. Like, you've got Logan Cooley's just as down to earth as Clayton Keller. Like you don't see a whole lot of ego there. It's cool seeing even at every level that you see, they're a team. They're respectful. They're great to work with.
No, I completely agree. Having covered all the sports, it's the easiest from that perspective. It's easiest to get access to the players. They're open.
And it's funny that you said that, because yesterday Troy Stetcher was on our show, and one of the things he said was, like, out of all of the teams he's been a part of, this is the one that feels most like a team, the least individual-minded group of people that he's ever been a part of on a team with. So I think what you said kind of speaks to that as well. Yeah,
just look at Bjugstad and Stetcher coming back. Yeah, right. You get traded in March, and you come back to a team that is rebuilding, and that speaks volumes. And we all know your love affair with Bjugstad, and it's all true, understandably so.
Kind of awkward last week, but
a little bit awkward.
But that just speaks volumes to, especially what this team has in the locker room. And it's not just the players, right? Who do they cite? Bear, Andre Torini, and the culture
How's
that
he been with you?
Incredible.
Yeah.
My first story, my first assignment when I started working for the Coyotes was the draft in Montreal last year in 2022. And I was brand new to the organization. They had just moved from Gila, so they were still moving into the office where we are now, and didn't know anybody except for Rich and Luke Johns and a few Doug and a few people. And
right.
I'm sitting in the lobby of the hotel in Montreal, not knowing a soul. And mind you, I had covered the team the year before for the Hockey Writers, but I hadn't been introduced formally, really, except for via email to the players, the coaching staff, everybody. And I'm sitting in the lobby, and I will never, ever forget this. Out of nowhere, a booming voice from the other side of the lobby is, "Patrick, welcome." It was Bear calling me out from the other side of the lobby of the hotel, comes and shakes my hand, says, "Welcome to the team. We're so happy to have you." And that's how my employment at the Coyotes began. That's one of the first memories I have. And that's how he's been with me.
But that just shows that we talk about it here, what an influence he's had on the players in the organization. But it's good to hear those stories because it lets you know it's real. It's not made up. It's not done for the media. That's really who he is.
It's like one of the most genuine, caring, just awesome individuals out there. And that is the culture that he's fostering. And that's why players want to come play here. And, I'll keep saying it from top to bottom. It's genuine. And I'm proud to be a part of it.
That's awesome.
And then one of your other earliest memories was running into me, Craig, and Jacob walking into and out of a bar in Montreal after Jacob and Craig and I finally made it after 27 hours.
You guys went to a bar?
We did.
My surprise face.
We had a good time in Montreal once we got there.
Well, Winston Churchill's, I think.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
What a lovely spot down on Catherine Street. That's great. Love it there.
That's right.
Ziggy's, you just missed Ziggy's, and I can't believe you didn't get to go to Ziggy's.
That's all right. That's all right.
Next time.
We're far too serious here. I want to talk about minivans. So
it happened.
Yeah, it happened. It's there now. Patrick is the proud owner of what type of minivan?
For my family, the appropriately named Kia Carnival.
Oh my
the
God.
Appropriately named.
And you bought
Kia
it on purpose?
Carnival. It was an intentional.
Was it like
purchase.
you inherited it or it's given to you?
Look,
You bought it?
I have fully embraced it at this point. It was hard. It was a hard thing to come around to, but look, we got 3 kids, 5 and under, including a 6-month
Buddy.
We're
heard about our
right
OG
now.
sponsorship.
Wow. And
So how much did you wrestle with that decision? Am I really taking this turn? There's really no turning back after you drive a minivan.
No.
Manhood is gone.
It's gone, and I'm okay with it. I'm embracing it. It's a great car for what it's worth. It's a great car. My wife will be driving it, and in fact, we were laughing because she's like, "Will you ever drive it? Or like when we go anywhere, will you be riding shotgun?" And I said, "I'll drive it. It's a really nice car." Okay. Yeah, sure.
With a disguise.
Patrick rolling up to the first Coyotes game of the season in the minivan.
Like way back.
Like, you know how they do the player walk-ins, but it's the drive-in of Patrick in the van.
This is just the way I look at it. It's a long-term like prank or trolling for Ozzy, because in 11 years when he can drive,
he's going
to be driving the minivan to school. So this is the long game.
I like that. Actually, that helps sell it for me.
That is. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Patrick, did you bring some books today? I think you showed us some books.
Yeah,
I did.
Where did this start? Like, and by the way, I don't think people understand how equipped you come with dad jokes literally every waking moment.
You have
like
to
every
be.
time I see you, you've got a few queued up for me. And sometimes I don't know they're coming because there's
the best part.
Like some of Petey's approaches off the air before we start today, where he'd just lay something out, and I thought it was a legitimate question, and then
it isn't.
I walked right into that.
Well, that's the best part, and I couldn't even pinpoint where it started, except it's always been there.
Even before you were dad?
Oh, long before.
Really?
Long before. Elementary school, I remember I grew up Catholic. My dad's a deacon, and so we were very involved in the church. And I remember Father Frank, God rest his soul, he and I would always have jokes ready for each other. Always.
When you were a
And
kid.
yeah, and that's where it started. I've always look. There are enough jerks in this world, right? There's plenty of them. They're out there. We drive next to them on the highway every day.
See them on Twitter when you tweet about the Coyotes.
That's just one or two. And I don't want to be one of them. I like making people laugh. I like keeping it light, and laughter's the best medicine. So it's just. I've always liked making people laugh, so I've been stocking the arsenal of dad jokes for a while.
But you know what else is really bad though, because we felt this at the when Craig and I went to the red and white scrimmage for the development camp.
Yeah,
just a few weeks ago. Matt McConnell,
Black and white scrimmage.
The black and white was it not red and white? Black and white,
Definitely not red.
Black and white. Oh, it's not. We're past that now. The black and white scrimmage.
It used to be red and white.
I know. I saw it. It was close. But Matt McConnell. How bad was Matt McConnell?
Oh man,
he was horrifically bad.
Yeah,
he was
those weren't even
trying.
dad jokes.
He was trying so bad to be punny, and he just could not do it. I will say this though, your influence has rubbed off on us because you've heard when Craig booked you for the show, we started our new segment the next day to be Wednesday Dad Joke Day. So every Wednesday now, it's because of you that we started Dad Joke Wednesdays. And I tell you what it is, I know they're awful. And it is so funny. But when we would just wait till the chat jumps in with theirs, like it's funny that they're not funny.
Yep.
To your point too about Matt McConnell, Leah, I want to go back to the question about what surprised me the most, because they fit into that family too, with Matt and Tyson and Heater and Lindsay and Luke Lipinski, and it's such a tight knit group, and that's one of the coolest things. Matt, he'll come back from road trips and he'll just have the jokes ready to go, and sometimes he'll play the long game, and I don't even realize I'm walking into it until I've gone face planted. Right in it, face first.
That doesn't even like Matt is infamous for bus tunes too. That when you travel, the media get on a separate bus from the players to get to the hotel, and he'll often theme it for the city that you're in. But he'll find artists where you're like, "Wow, I didn't know that band was from Chicago. I'm from Chicago."
I would also say that those tunes almost created a fight on the side of the road, but that's another tale.
And I gotta give Maddie props with one, because they just come back from Colorado, and he starts telling me how he comes up and goes, it's the craziest thing. They only had one Zamboni in Colorado. I've never seen it before, and he had me hook, line, and sinker right there. I was like, what? How did they? What was it like in between periods? And I'm like asking him all these questions, and he's just trying to get to the damn punchline where he's like, no, it was stolen. They were looking for it, but don't worry. That Zamboni will resurface soon. It was great. It was great.
Oh my gosh.
It's good stuff.
Before we move on to some hockey specific talk.
Hockey.
Everyone give me a dad joke, and then we'll just transition every segment. So PD, I'm gonna throw it to you.
I used to have a problem. I was addicted to the hokey pokey.
No, I know this.
But I turned myself around.
Patrick, I know this one.
Patrick, what do you
got?
got?
That's a good one. Oh man, so many. All right, I'm gonna go with a knock joke.
Okay.
Well, knock knock.
Who's there?
A little old lady.
Little old lady who?
You can yodel.
Oi, Craig, you have any on deck? Or?
Did you guys know that French fries actually aren't cooked in France? They're cooked in Greece.
Yeah.
And by the way,
somehow that fit Craig so
I like it.
Whoever stole my antidepressant medicine, I hope you're happy now.
Oh my lord.
That's a good one.
Boy.
There's
Are they coming in on the screen yet?
Somebody at the office stole my copy of Microsoft Office, but I'll find them. You have my word.
Wait, okay, David, I told my wife to embrace her mistakes. She gave me a hug. All right. Oh my God.
We're gonna do Tim's.
Tim, why does the
these are
Norwegian Navy put barcodes on their boats so they can Scandinavian?
Those are good.
Scandinavian.
That's
I like
awesome.
it.
Keep them coming in the chat. We'll continue to read dad jokes as we go along here.
Is that a joke? Patrick is a gem? No, never mind. Sorry.
I'm breaking my number one rule today, by the way, which is
what's that?
Doug Cannon is nice enough to put me on the radio for intermissions. I've got a face for radio.
You do.
I am breaking my number one rule today, so appreciate you guys.
By the way, you are
having me
very good at that. I do listen to you sometimes when I'm late for work on the intermission recaps. I do.
Thanks.
You and
Oh,
Luke?
man.
It's
You
I mean,
Luke?
everybody,
Friend
whether
of the
it's,
program,
whether
Luke
it's
Lipinski?
Luke, whether it's Heater, Bob Heathouse.
There is no nicer man in hockey than Bob
Agreed.
Heathouse. And
I
I
was
will,
going to say Doug Cannon's not that nice, so you don't have to say
if you
he's
say that, I will fight you because Bob Heathouse is the nicest guy in hockey.
Oh my
He
God,
is
the best.
unbelievable human being.
It-
What a
it's-
kind man.
And they make it easy.
Yeah.
They make it easy.
He's
That's
gracious. He's good.
all professional. Like everybody's, they're consummate professionals.
Yeah.
Everybody on
That's
the
cool.
broadcast team.
Oh,
So
man.
it's cool stuff. Sorry, I keep derailing.
No, you're
No,
good.
you're
I feel
actually-
like you're trying
Buddy,
to
no,
read
do you
me.
think there's a plan here? There's no plan.
Well, yeah. Okay. It is the ultimate Friday fun day. PD is drinking a kilt lifter.
I am.
I'm drinking a wow that I had to
Oh,
bring.
wow, I didn't even see you do that. Wow.
That
See
I-
what I do? It just automatically say wow. It
that
does.
I had to bring this from home because the wow everyone drinks the wow so quick in our office. I literally brought this from home. We love Four Peaks here at PHNX, and you can buy Four Peaks wherever you buy your beer or check out the 8th Street Pub. There is a Women's World Cup watch party tonight
Yep.
at the 8th
At
Street
the 4th
Pub,
Street
and
Pub.
it is completely
8th Street.
sold out. So
Done.
Nice.
you snooze, you lose. Next time, make sure you RSVP. It's going to be a lot of fun. So check out at Four Peaks Brew or at Four Peaks Pub to keep up with the latest at Arizona's hometown brewery. You must be 21 or older to drink Four Peaks, and please drink responsibly. Patrick, we were watching golf a little when you came
true.
in, and you were talking about getting out on the golf course.
What would he wear, though?
We have an amazing golf sponsor here at PHNX, Pins and Aces. They have great golf
Fire.
apparel, like amazing.
Comfortable.
We had a golf tournament and we
Lightweight.
got personalized
Yes.
polos with
Well,
our little
When you say we, you
Phoenix
mean you.
logo on it. And they have some other great items, such as a beer sleeve that keeps your beer cold in your golf bag, which
I mean, you gotta have that.
It's
At 118,
100
I'll test it at 118. We'll see.
Yeah. Like, even if you go at 6 a.m., it's 105 degrees. But we love our friends at Pins and Aces, so you can check out pinsandaces.com and use code PHNX to receive 15% off your first order and get free shipping. That's pinsandaces.com.
I would like to say this to Caleb, because Caleb's listening to talking right now, and Caleb usually giving it to me. By the way,
Yeah.
big fight with Caleb in the Discord the other day about spelling.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, that was so
spelling,
funny.
for Christ's
I was
sake. Like, really?
dying.
We care about spelling?
I do, Caleb.
You guys all do. I know you're journalists. I clearly don't care. My mom was reading the teacher aside. But did you see what Caleb said?
I saw.
Patrick is easily
saw.
top 5 best looking on the podcast.
That's okay. Top 5.
I just you don't know how happy that
Top
makes me.
5.
Caleb,
Four of us here.
That's okay.
Caleb,
Still made the
Caleb
top
gives
5.
it to me
Yeah.
all day. Like Caleb is my nemesis. It's like,
My
Batman and the Joker.
nemesis. Ooh.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like that kind of relationship. It's like you need each other to coexist, but it's just kind of like
He's your
yeah.
foil.
This is
Yep.
this is
My
the
foil.
This
you
is
go.
my eternal optimist. Caleb could have gone top 10.
He could have. Yeah.
yeah.
Caleb went top
Yeah.
5.
Caleb,
and
keep
I
giving it
salute
to him
you
for the
that,
spelling.
Caleb.
I appreciate
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
I appreciate
Jacob,
you.
can you star the dad jokes that are coming through, and we'll go back and read some of them. I want to. There was a topic that I wanted to broach with everyone and to get us a little bit on rails. And so the NBA announced an in-season tournament.
Yes.
And I think this past week, Bill Daly said the NHL is not doing that. But for the sake of today's conversation, I would like the four of us to imagine what an NHL in-season tournament could look like. First of all, if you like this idea, if you think it's stupid, what it would look like in the NHL. So I'll just open up the floor
Well, lay it out
for
for
this debate.
viewers first who may not know what that
Yes,
NBA
that-
in-season tournament looks like.
Great
Yeah.
point. So the NBA is doing an in-season tournament in which they put, I won't even explain how the groups were made because I didn't even fully understand, but it's going to be like a round robin sort of thing.
Yep.
The people who win are going to move on, and all of these games count as regular season games. Like, this is not an extra thing. These are all games that count. Just
How many
like,
pools are there?
I think there's 6.
Okay.
Yes, 3 in each
How did I do that?
conference.
Okay.
And they play each other, and then there'll be a championship game once the winners, are revealed, and then that championship game does not count for a
Oh,
regular
boy.
season win or loss, but you win a trophy, and there's awards and prizes. So the players on the team that lose in the quarterfinals all get 50 grand. Players
Okay.
on a team
They're
that
playing for
lose
money.
in the semifinals get 100 grand. Players on a team that lose in the championship get 200, and players on the winning championship team get 500K. So there is a monetary I guess.
But all the other
prize.
games count as regular season games.
Every other game counts.
Except the championship.
Except the championship.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna right out of the gate say, wait till someone gets hurt in the championship game that doesn't count for anything.
Yeah, that's true.
Wait till somebody gets hurt in the championship game that doesn't count for anything.
This is kind of a soccer model, right? They do these sorts of things. And listen, when we were kids, we were playing hockey. You might have been playing in a league, but you had tournaments that you still played in during the course of a season. So it's fun. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should
Everybody
the NHL
loves to
adopt this.
Everybody loves to play for something, right? I mean, that's why the Tax Slayer Bowl exists.
It's going to generate revenue for the league, obviously. It's also going to generate interest for the league, which is also a good thing. And maybe it breaks up just the mundane nature of the regular
monotony
season.
when you get to the middle of the season. Like, I don't know. I mean, we've struggled sometimes, like when we're on game 36 and you're looking at the punch card of the rest of the games, you're thinking, oh my gosh, especially with the last 2 years, it was more of a tank mentality. It would have been fun. I don't know. I think it would have been fun. But I also get the point, like Roaring Fork in the comments, imagine Keller getting hurt in a mid-season tournament.
That's just it. I completely
but
agree with that.
regular season games, it doesn't matter.
They gotta play those
Because
games
you're still
anyway.
playing. Yeah, you're playing those games.
Well, I
anyway.
guess the championship.
What about the
Yeah.
championship
It's
game?
the
that
one
doesn't count
game.
for anything, though. I might be in the minority here. It feels gimmicky to me. It feels a little gimmicky, and I know like the soccer model, EP in the EPL Premier League and everything else, and they've got all that. So that's all well and good. And I think it would be fun, but at the same time, it just to me it feels a little gimmicky, and I don't feel like we're missing out. I don't feel like the NHL is missing out on any sort of mid-season tournament because to me the playoffs are it. There is nothing.
Yeah.
There is nothing like the
meaningless.
NHL playoffs.
The trophy for this midseason tournament is meaningless.
Yeah,
no
they're
one,
gonna skate
no one
around.
cares if
Hey,
they
NBA
NBA just gave rings for the fucking Summer League.
I
Crazy.
know.
Like, really?
Yeah.
So I'm agree with Pat. HK, like who cares? Like really?
Yeah.
Really? We're going to do this in the middle of the season and we're all going to be, ooh, the only thing that makes the players care a little bit is $500,000. But really, you know what? NHL players would rather take the day off. Oh, shit, I don't have to practice. I don't have to go fly to Chicago for that game today. They'd rather do that than the $500K.
Could this potentially cut down on travel, though, if you're like in a pod of geographic
Well, that's
pod?
just, they'll change the whole goddamn schedule then.
Yeah,
do
it
what you
would.
said and play in your geographic area. Why would the Coyotes play in the Central Division when they're 4 hours from Las Vegas by car? That's just dumb.
Yep.
So why don't we just realign the whole thing? Then
Oh, buddy.
now
Don't get me started
now
on
regular
realignment.
regular season games matter.
Yeah.
And now regular season games are against your little geographic area and they become more important. Now you got rivalries. I know.
I might have to do another realignments tour. I think
Just
I do one
no.
every summer.
The one thing I did like, this is kind of a curveball, but as opposed to an in-season tournament, I thought during the COVID season when they had the home and homes or how they kind of made the team, the series, that was fun.
Yes.
That'll create rivalries
Yes.
in a
Yes.
hurry.
It will. You know
Again.
what's interesting?
Cut down on travel, cut down on
At
cost.
the ownership level, they didn't want that because they thought they wouldn't sell tickets to that that second
Oh,
meeting.
you playing that St.
That's
Louis? We
boring.
played
It's-
Coyotes played St. Louis 7 straight
And it was
times.
a great
It was
series,
awesome.
by the
end
way.
of it,
great
it was
hockey.
it was fire by the
Yes.
end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Couldn't
I totally
agree more.
disagree with anybody who says that's a bad idea. It cuts down on travel for
Yes.
the players. First and foremost, that
Physically,
should be,
yep.
that should be
Wear and tear on the
yeah, a
players,
piece of the
cost
puzzle.
Yeah.
for the owners. I think you look at it separated by a day. You don't have to do back-to-backs. I understand the ramifications of back-to-backs, but 2 nights in a hotel is cheaper than 1 night on a plane. It just is. And so you want to play Thursday, Saturday, or Wednesday, Friday in Anaheim? Hell yes.
Yeah.
And then fly back here and play on Sunday in Arizona, 3 straight games. Absolutely, they should be doing that. And these are things that I think would raise interest, that would still keep the integrity of the regular season intact, and we wouldn't have to have the gimmicky things, but still make sense to the player, to the owner, and I think it's great for the fan.
And
Here's
I like what Roaring Fork said as well, because if you're looking for a tournament mid-season, watch the World Juniors.
Yeah.
Watch World Juniors.
Watch the World Juniors.
And Joel said the Olympics too.
Yeah,
And-
absolutely.
before years,
We got to wait for
hopefully,
us, but
yeah.
watch the World Juniors.
Best
That's a
hockey
great
in the
call.
world.
If
It's my
that's
favorite
what you're
tournament
looking
all time.
for, and I mean, come on,
Yes.
how much fun was it watching Dylan Gunther score the golden
Yes.
goal to
Well,
win it all for Team Canada?
Not that great.
Here's what I'll say about this.
Sorry, Dylan.
Awesome. It was amazing.
USA.
So, anyways, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No,
but
you're fine.
Wait, buddy. Stop apologizing for everything you do. Interrupt him. You're part of the show
PD
today.
interrupts all of us.
You're
all
part
the time.
of the show
Yeah,
today.
Petey does interrupt all of us. so.
Yes.
So
I interrupt
here's what I'll
guests.
say about the in-season tournament. I give the NBA more credit than any other league in North America for experimenting. I think
trying.
they're the most innovative league in North American
Fair.
professional sports. They may scrap this if it doesn't succeed.
Sure.
But what if it becomes popular? What if people like it?
Yep.
What if it gets ratings and generates revenue? Well,
Merchandise
then they-
sales
they've
and
nailed
TV
it
ratings.
again.
You're right.
yeah, so we'll see.
You're
Oh
right.
my
Do I
gosh.
think it's meaningful in any way? No.
Okay.
The trophy's stupid.
But you're
but
right.
I have to read this comment from Brady, though. So he said, I think it would be cool for hockey, play something worthwhile on it. Say the teams that suck. Bottom 4 teams have to play a mini tournament at the end of the season. Winner gets the first overall pick.
What?
Love that. That's like
love
a
it.
modified goal plan
Caleb,
there.
love
Yeah.
it. That's pretty. Shane Doan brought that up before too. Once you're eliminated from the
the
playoffs,
Adam
you start
Gold plan.
calculating points, or you got to play in a tournament and you have to win the tournament to win the player. Absolutely agree.
Yeah.
That's intriguing.
Absolutely agree. So make a playoffs. All the teams that are in the playoffs are playing for the Stanley Cup. All the guys that are out of it are playing for Connor Bedard.
Here's the problem with that.
I know. Then the middle teams win, and the teams that are truly bad
if you're
never get
truly
better.
a really bad team, you're not going to win that tournament
Right.
either, and you're the team that needs that
Right.
player the most. So anyway,
Or you don't trade half your roster away. You don't try to tank and have a shitty team so you
Yeah.
can get Connor Bedard.
yeah,
Maybe.
Ozzy,
Chicago?
don't repeat half the words that Pete
Oh,
Oh
is
yeah.
my
saying,
God,
by
I
the
forgot
way.
his
Thank
kids
you.
listening.
family show today, buddy. Come on.
Oh my
Sorry.
gosh.
We have a guy, Dan B, listens to the show, and I usually tell him because he listens to this on audio on his
In
way
the
to
car.
school. So I have to tell him time to turn the radio down. So sorry, Dan. Sometimes I get fired up.
Just say Ozzy earmuffs.
Yeah,
There we go.
earmuffs. I just get a
Where do
little
you
fired
stand
up.
on the playing round
Uh,
for playoffs?
Look, you're expanding.
Mhm.
It's almost diluted. I don't mean to, but when you see what does the regular season mean, and maybe the regular season should mean less. I don't know. Maybe it should mean more. But I'm not a big playing around guy. Just like I feel like eventually college basketball is going to be like just every team goes.
Yeah,
At
just
some
let them all
point.
go.
Just let them all go.
Yeah, and there are people who believe, like Indiana high school, right? Like, just let everybody.
And
in.
the regular season
Yeah.
is already kind of diluted. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but again, we were talking soccer before. You look at how much every single game means in the Premier
Something.
League because there are no playoffs.
Yeah.
So I kind of really like just how much regular season games mean because of that. But look, I'm not, well, that's it. Right?
the NBA,
That's
it's
it.
been very successful for the NBA.
No, for
I'm
sure.
surprised that the NHL.
When you look
so
at baseball, even
opposed.
expanding the wild card.
Yeah, but the
and
wild
everything
card in
else,
baseball really bothered me because, and I'm a huge baseball fan, but when you have 162 games, then you narrow it down to get into the wild card and you play one game in the afternoon. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, baseball is the one sport where, because of your pitching rotation, a head-to-head one game is not fair.
Yeah, I think it's
You
dumb.
need to play. You need 2 out of 3. I'm okay with
agree
2 out
with
of
that.
3.
Yep.
So in hockey, you'd have to. The only thing you'd have to do is, I think you could do a play-in, but it have to be 2 out of 3, and you have
Yes.
to give each team an opportunity to play at home. I think you have to, and that the problem with that is what you talked about with injuries. The hockey playoffs are. It's a juggernaut.
It is.
It's incredibly difficult as it is. So I don't think they need it. I'm in your camp. I don't think they need to expand it. I like the wild card setup now. I do not like that it always has to be Calgary and Edmonton have to play each other. I don't. One plays in the East and in the West. One plays 8. 2 play 7. Let's go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wanted to
Giddy
know
up.
your thoughts
Reseed.
on the playoff seeding.
Would love to see reseeding.
Yeah.
Would love to see reseeding. But I had a thought. I lost it.
Buddy, you need to have a notebook. You should be.
Oh.
You're a friggin' writer.
I remember what I was going to say. So the hockey season's already crazy long.
Yeah.
Between the regular season
Yes.
and then the playoff. They're going into June. Sometimes when the Olympics, you're going into mid-June.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to make that any longer? These guys get like the least amount of time off compared to any other league already. Do we want to make that any longer? But, you know, my beer league GM
Man,
skills
I
are
love to play
questionable.
around
at
when they
best,
did
so.
it, though. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, back in the
Obviously
bubble.
a lot of fun for the Coyotes.
Back in the bubble, that
Yeah.
playing.
Oh, because they won.
Yeah, they won.
Yeah.
It was cool. It
Who
was
called
really
the
cool stuff.
offsides against? Oh, never mind.
Oh,
Nashville. Kyle
Look at
Turris.
you.
Whoopsie,
Little
Kyle.
flex.
Offside. No, it wasn't me. It was
I know.
Griff. Actually, it was Griff. Thanks, Griff.
All right,
Is that
Oh,
it?
nice
Is
rule
that the end of the
changes?
show?
let's
No.
talk about rule changes.
Yeah.
This is an audio podcast.
Okay, well, so since we're
Are you hurrying to get me off here?
No,
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 but
no, no.
we would do when everybody gets a little nervous when they
There's
get
we
quiet.
have something called a show run, PD. I don't know if you're
yeah,
familiar
PD
with
doesn't.
it.
I don't
It
follow
shows
the
everything
rules.
we're talking about.
So we've been talking about the play-in, and then I'm glad we kind of got on the proposing changes to the structure of things. So I want to know, and this could be as off the wall as you want it to
Oh
be.
boy.
All of us. If
Mm-hmm.
you could propose an on-ice rule change, and it can be still, it does not have to be serious. what would that rule change be? And if someone has one.
I've got one.
Okay.
I'll start. It starts with overtime.
Okay. And
you can keep the 3-on-3 because I think that's exciting. There are no whistles in overtime. None. Except for a puck over the glass or a penalty. And here's what you do. Everybody's familiar with shinny hockey. So if the goalie covers it, the opponents have to get outside the blue line. The goalie sets it behind his net, and you keep playing. There's no line changes. There's no whistle. It keeps going. There are no blue lines. There are no offsides, and there is no icing.
Wow.
And let's see some giddy up. You want to see Connor McDavid with no whistles and no blue lines and no offsides? Let's go. You get 2-on-0. The goalie freezes it. There is no whistle. The opponents have to go out beside. The ref blows the whistle, but the opponents just go up behind the blue line. He sets the puck on the ice, and we go. And it's just giddy up, giddy up, giddy up. One, the game will be faster. And I could not wait to watch 3-on-3 hockey with no whistles and no rules. Let's go.
Sounds like arena football there.
It's fun. Keep going.
Nets?
Play it off the net.
Yeah.
Yep. Play it. Let's go. Play it.
Right. Leah.
Mine was gonna be overtime related too. But first of all, when you get it's 3-on-3, but like when you get a penalty, then it goes to 4-on-3.
Yes.
3-on-2.
3-on-2.
Screw it.
I agree.
Screw it. The
like
other
that.
one that I've heard a lot, which I enjoy, it's like 5-on-5 the first minute, 4-on-4 the second minute,
Ooh.
3-on-3, and then it keeps dropping down.
1-on-1.
Is that a hard cut off then?
I don't know.
Four,
I don't know
the
how
buzzer.
that-
Minutes.
I
The
don't know.
buzzer.
4 minutes. There's a buzzer.
Just
and you gotta
like
go
youth
4 on
hockey, and
4.
the buzzer goes.
Yeah.
I don't know how that would work, but I've seen that one
Love
float
it.
around. And by the way, if you have any ideas in the chat, please
Goalie
let
on
us know.
goalie to end it.
That'd be electric.
Nice. You got to be
What was
in
it?
full equipment.
Goalie on goalie.
Mask still has to be on too.
Well, that's
Oh
just
my
stupid.
gosh.
My off the wall, again, I feel like I'm in the minority in this, but I actually think they should stop allowing teams to ice the puck while shorthanded.
Oh.
I think
Whistle and come back?
Yeah, like I think it should be icing if you ice the puck. I forget which league. There's a league that I think just not only changed that, but also a team has to play number one the entire penalty shorthanded, whether or not the team on the power play scores. So it's basically
I
almost
like
a
that.
major.
I like that too. That's one of the things that I would love to see.
When did
And then
that change?
the other interesting rule change I saw in that league, it's like the Champions Hockey League or something like that. But if the team scores shorthanded, the penalty is over.
Love that too.
Oh.
And that's an interesting.
I like that
Oh,
too.
because it's
Off
like
the
you
wall.
can win it
You
back.
two should, you guys should book a trip to New York and get a meeting with Gary Bettman because Craig comes up with this stuff all the time that we go, that's
We
a
call
really
him.
good idea.
Let me call him.
I know. He flexes in the show. So here's the other thing
No, I
before
don't.
Craig tells his rule change. So what Craig does every day before a show, he changes his contact for his wife to somebody else, like Gary Bettman or Javier Gutierrez. And he says, honey, call me at 11:05. Ring. Javier Gutierrez is calling me. And he goes, no, he's not. Gary no, it's not. It's your wife, and we
Joe
know it.
Biden.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Flexing
hail
all the
the
time.
chief.
He flexes all the time like that. So anyway, sorry, I digress.
All right, you guys took some of mine, but there are a couple that still drive me crazy. As a goalie, get rid of the freaking trapezoid.
Yeah.
Gone.
Get rid of the trapezoid.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let the goalie play the puck wherever the hell he wants
Yes.
to.
Don't you want to see Mike Smith doing what he used to do?
Yes.
And Marty Turco?
Yes.
Let him get in trouble. Great. Let him get what I don't understand what is the downside of that? If you on one end you create more offense for the team that the goalie passes it for because they're skilled. Great, more offense. If he screws up and has a horrific play, well, that's just damn fun. So let's get rid of the. Imagine Karel Vejmelka with no. Oh, buddy. Well, maybe we should leave it.
What if you kept the trapezoid, but if the goalie chooses to play the puck outside of the trapezoid, he's fair game.
You can hit him.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Whoa.
light him up.
Yeah.
Light him up.
Suddenly every player is on board.
Yeah. Yes, please. Oh boy. Yeah,
Oh
I like
my
it.
gosh.
The other penalty that drives me crazy, and I get that there are instances where it's delay of game, but the puck over the glass drives me nuts. It drives
Go
me
back to the
nuts.
old rule. If you deem it intentional, call it.
Leave it to referee's discretion.
But how brutal is referee's discretion, though? We can't get goalie interference,
Yeah,
and he
fair.
consistently on goalie interference.
Yeah, we
Now
don't know
you're
what
gonna
goalie
be-
interference is. No one knows.
It's
One of life's great
Yeah.
mysteries.
Charles said if you score from behind the blue line, it counts for 2.
a 2-pointer.
Like a 3-point shot. Bet like it. Let's go.
Yeah, why not? A lot of people echoing the overtime rules and the penalty rules in the chat as well. So I really think we could be onto something here. I don't know how it would.
Clearly.
I don't know how it would impact sports betting though, so that might be a reason to not.
Let me throw
it.
one more out there before we go onto the ad reads and continue on this 2-hour show that we're on pace for now. Jacob's like back there groaning.
There's no bet show at noon.
No, we got a chill day today at the PHNX studios.
I'm gonna have another beer shortly if we have an ad
Standing
read.
I just
points.
need you out by 12:30.
Okay.
Standings points. What's the ideal situation, and do we have it now?
Oh, I think you should get 3 points for a regulation win, 2 points for an overtime win, and 1 point for a shootout win. And if you lose, you get 0 points, whether it's overtime or a shootout.
Don't hate it. I have no opinion. I don't know.
Bring back the tie.
Ooh.
Oh,
Good.
Oh, Dan agrees with me. Or maybe I don't know if
I hate
Dan
loser
means
points.
1 for a loss.
hate loser
I
points.
hate loser points.
Hate loser points too.
And you know how it changes games. Like we'll play for the
Play for the
make sure we
tie.
get the point.
Play for the
Yeah.
tie.
And you
Yeah.
know how many overtime points like the Coyotes got last season? Imagine if they got 0 points for all those.
They might have got Connor
Connor
Bedard.
Bedard would
Yeah.
be a Coyote, maybe.
Brady said
You guys are
overtime.
banking on lottery luck there.
No goalies, just 6 on
Oh.
6. No face-off. Treat it like basketball. Take it behind goal line and inbound it. Most goals at the end of OT wins.
Oh, I don't hate that either.
That's
Most goals
electric.
win.
That's electric. Oh my gosh. This
Yeah,
is awesome.
I loser points. I think it becomes a coaching strategy to just make it to overtime.
Yep.
Especially on the road. And you take that loser point and you go, okay, let's just play for the tie.
You don't
here.
get a reward for losing. Sorry, no reward. Doesn't
Yeah, that's
matter.
fair.
Bring out the board like they do in intermission shots, where it's just got the one like slot to
Slot in
shoot
it.
from center.
Yes. like like when they shoot from Chicago with a slide and you just have that's your goalie. And if you can make it in there, you win overtime.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh. All right. Yeah. I don't think the
I don't
NHL.
think you bet on that.
I don't think you can bet on any of this. I don't think the NHL would go for any of this, but we can dream. That's why we have Friday Funday. And if you want to participate in Friday Funday, play the Swing for the Fences game on the BetMGM
You play
app.
every day.
I play every day. So you pick a strike zone, an area of the strike zone. You literally log in. This is a game. You click on the game. You can play it daily. You can get a single, double, triple, or home run, or a pop out. So don't get that, and receive the prize associated with that type of hit. And then you use it on any MLB
What
bet.
does it cost?
Nothing.
There you go.
You
It's
just
free.
get a boost. It's great. Any MLB bet, and MLB. I mean, that's
Free boost.
what there is right now. Also, you can bet on the Women's World Cup. I was watching Team Canada play last night. Really, really good game. It was a 0-0 tie, but it was
0-0.
It was.
What's the score of the soccer game? Let me guess. 0-0?
But if you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use the bonus code PHNX. There's a few different offers depending on where you live, but for our Arizona
Max.
audience, place your first bet offer and receive up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if it loses with BetMGM. Again, make sure you use that bonus code PHNX. Oh my God.
That's classy right
This
there.
is the effect I have.
Stay
on people.
classy, PHNX.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Do you need a Tums or are you good?
That's what, yes. Let's
Which
watch
am I
Leah
doing?
try and recover from this moment.
Check out the show notes for full details. And now, listen to Shane talk about the disclaimer.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Colorado, D.C., Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Louisiana, Maryland, Mississippi, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, Wyoming. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369 New York. Call 1-800-327-5050 Massachusetts. 21 plus to wager. Please gamble responsibly. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP Arizona. 1-800-522-4700 Nevada. 1-800-BETS-OFF Iowa. 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help Michigan. 1-800-981-0023 Puerto Rico. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. U.S. promotional offers not available in D.C., Kansas, Nevada, New York, or Ontario.
Oh my God, now I'm crying from laughing. I should go get my Shady Raids and put them on so
them
no
on.
one can see me crying. Oh my gosh.
I
yeah.
want to be Shady Rays on the way in today because it was so sunny out.
It is sunny all the time here. And that's why you need Shady Rays, because they're affordable sunglasses and they're incredibly stylish and they have tons of different colors and styles. Something for you, I promise. And like I mentioned, they're affordable. They're risk-free because if you don't love them, you can return or exchange them free within 30 days. If you want to go try them on in person, you can go to the brick and mortar store at Kierland Commons. And exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. Go to shadyrays.com and use code PHNX for 50% off 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades, rated 5 stars by over 250,000 people. Okay, Patrick. So every Friday, we have a few reoccurring segments that we do on the show. And one thing we like to ask guests that come in is a good road trip story. So we've told crazy one, like like Craig and Jacob's trip to Montreal.
Yeah,
That's a tale from the road.
Oh, yeah.
So anything, it could be a prank story. It can be just like a crazy travel experience. Just any good tale from the road. We want to hear from you. What's your best tale from the road?
It doesn't need to be Coyotes
No.
or
Absolutely
It
job
could be
related.
like you're just
Nope.
in life.
Okay. So I won't talk about when I ripped my suit pants at the draft, the NHL draft.
Oh,
just
I
now.
remember this.
So,
You
yeah,
told
that
me
was-
this. in
That was brutal.
Nashville.
So we'll leave that for another time. Because I think one of my, it was brutal, man. That was brutal. But I think my favorite travel story actually goes back to my days at Iowa State. Went to St. Louis for the College Media Advisors Awards, everything. I was editor-in-chief of the Daily, so we went for that. And it just happened to coincide in 2006 with the Detroit Tigers St. Louis Cardinals World Series.
No. Good for you.
And total fluke, obviously, because these things are planned years in advance.
And you're a sports guy, so World Series.
And I'm a Tigers fan,
buddy.
right? So we drive to St. Louis. We get there. Game that night. They were playing in St. Louis. Series was tied 1-1. Game that night was rained out. Get into the hotel, and I we put our stuff. It was a crazy stressful drive. Storms the whole way from Ames all the way to St. Louis. Just really, really stressful. I'm at my wit's end. I get into the hotel, hungry, decide I'm going to grab some food, go down to the hotel restaurant. Curtis Granderson sitting like 2 seats away from me, right? So I go up, tap him on the shoulder, ask for a picture. Really, really nice guy. He takes a picture. And at this point, I'm over the moon. I hadn't even had my internship with the Mariners yet. I had never dealt with a professional athlete before. I was so excited. I run up to my room because, of course, I knew we were going to be there. I had no idea we were staying at the same hotel as the Detroit Tigers, but I knew we were going to be there in the same city, at least. So I brought the one and only jersey that I had, which shows just how long I've been a fan of this team, because the one and only Tigers jersey that I had at the time was Bobby Higginson.
Wow. Okay.
Who ended up not being terribly well liked by his teammates at the end. And he was not on that 2006 team. But I still wore it as a badge of honor because it showed that I was a huge fan even when they were 43 and 119 just a few seasons earlier. So I run up, I grab my Higginson jersey, I run back down, and I'm sitting at the hotel bar, and I feel a hand on my shoulder. I turn around and I look, and it's Maglio Ordonez. And he goes, and Ozzy earmuffs. What the fuck you doing wearing that jersey? I turn around, I was like, Mr. Ordonez, I'm sorry, I'm a big fan. This is how long I've been a fan. He goes, take that shit off right now. And I said, I'm a huge fan.
Oh
I'm sorry. And then who comes up behind him but Carlos Guillen, laughing so hard. He'd had a couple Pepsis or maybe some OGs or something, I don't know, but laughing hysterically. And I end up taking the jersey off. They offered me tickets if they could take the jersey and burn it. True story.
Wow.
I declined that because I couldn't go to the game.
World Series. They offered you World Series tickets.
They did. Their clubhouse,
for the jersey.
Their clubhouse manager did. Yeah. But I declined, one, because the jersey did have a certain amount of sentimental value because it was my first ever Tigers jersey and my brother had gotten it for me.
Yes.
But also I couldn't go to the games because I was there for a convention and
Right.
I could not skip out and go to the games. I was the editor-in-chief of the Daily.
Quit the
so I had
job.
no choice.
Oh, serious.
And so we sit, and man, we had fun that night, and we're laughing. Kenny Rogers refused any pictures, but he was sitting there at the bar.
chicken guy?
There was no substance on his hand that night, by the way. Kenny Rogers Roasters.
Yeah, no,
That's
not
good
the
Seinfeld.
different Kenny Rogers.
Great
Don't
Seinfeld
acknowledge.
episode.
So you
going.
sat
Great
and got
Seinfeld.
drunk. I mean, excuse me, earmuffs, Ozzy. You sat and drank with the Detroit Tigers
Well,
in the hotel bar.
Yeah, with Guillen, with Ordonez, and Kenny Rogers was there, but wouldn't allow any pictures to be taken. And then Carlos Guillen promptly went like 0 for 5 with 4 strikeouts the next day. Tigers lost 3 straight.
And this might be your
Oh
fault.
my
It
gosh.
literally might be your
Granderson
fault.
fell down in center field, but he wasn't even drinking.
Might be your fault. That's amazing
Thanks,
story.
That's actually
That's
a great
amazing.
story.
So that was fun. And then
And do you still have the pictures from that?
oh yeah, they're actually
That's
on.
unbelievable.
I've got the pictures for that, and you'll notice I'm not in my jersey
because you took it off.
Topless. Pictures. And then a runner-up, really quick runner-up story that I really liked. Flying home. This was like 8 or 9, like probably 6 or 7 years ago. I used to travel a lot for my old job, so I could get upgrades, and I got upgraded to first class to fly back to Chicago. Long story short, Alice Cooper's sitting right behind me on the plane. Gosh. And the best part about it, so I moved out here from a suburb in Chicago, Northwest. The name of the suburb's Algonquin. That's where I lived with my friends right before I moved out to Phoenix. And I don't know, I'm dating myself here, but any Wayne's World fans out there, he was playing a show. Alice Cooper was playing a show in Milwaukee. That's why he was flying back to Chicago. And we got to talking, and he started telling me that he was playing a show in Milwaukee. And I looked at him, I go, Milwaukee, quoting him in Wayne's World. And he just took it and ran with it. And we're sitting there quoting Wayne's World.
Come on.
And it was absolutely
with Alice
incredible.
Cooper.
Oh, yeah. It was
on a plane.
It was
random.
Unbelievable. So that's my runner-up story. I don't mean to take a ton of time, but that was fun.
That's unreal because in both of these instances, you get the opportunity to do what you did because you are you, meaning you are positive and happy and approachable and nice. And what you said to start the show carried over to both of those.
And cost the Tigers the World Series.
It's true.
We're going to clip that,
the curse.
in particular, so that when ALLCITY goes to Detroit, when we launch
we'll use that. I don't know.
DTRT, I guess it would be. Detroit.
Bad.
We'll put it up. That'll be the first piece of content.
Wow, that's really cool.
Patrick Brown cost the Detroit Tigers the World Series.
Because when Logan Cooley was throwing out the first pitch a couple weeks ago.
You had some impact, by the way, on the next day. I'm just going to throw it out there. You had some impact.
There were 3 more games, though.
The people that sit at home, if I wish really hard, maybe they'll win. No, you have no impact. You had impact.
Hey,
well, what can I say? I'm bad baseball luck.
So did you affect Logan Cooley's?
Well, not Logan Cooley. He did a great job, but I decided to stay for one more Corbin Carroll at bat because I wanted to see him
when
hit.
he hurt his shoulder?
And then he hurt himself. I was like, I'm going to see myself out, guys. I'm sorry. No, thank God he was okay.
So if you see Patrick at a D-backs game, bet against the D-backs.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, man. All right, Patrick. Well, our last segment that we do every single Friday is Weekend Binge, where we share what we're binge watching, what we plan to watch this weekend. So what are you binging if you have time with your busy family life?
So you caught us in between. We just started a new show. So we just finished The Bear.
Yes. Welcome to The Bear Podcast.
Yeah, that's a PHNX favorite.
And PHNX favorite.
The Bear is a lot of fun to watch with Meredith too because
she's a chef.
She's a chef. Wow.
She likes the show, but she's also not afraid to call it out when they're being completely ridiculous with stuff that never happens. So that's kind of funny. But The Bear, unbelievably well written. Absolutely love. I still call him Lip from Shameless.
Carmy.
Carmy, yes. And so and we also just finished, I know we're late to the party, but we just finished Ted Lasso literally like 3 days ago. Just saw the series finale.
You could be Ted Lasso. You and Ted have similar vibes.
Yeah. One of my favorite, let's say, series finales in any show ever. It was awesome. Yeah. And yesterday we just started Severance.
Oh my God!
You are hitting all the right notes here.
One episode into Severance and I'm hooked.
Wait,
it's so good.
Anxiety-riddled shows.
But
the anxiety in that show?
Oh, it's so good.
That last episode, and I won't give anything away. The butler did it, but
Colonel Mustard in the conservatory.
But that last episode,
can't wait for season 2 of that show.
The hair stood up on my arms that last episode of Severance. It is some of the best, most creative, thought-provoking television I've ever seen.
So we just started that yesterday.
Phenomenal.
And I think our Apple TV. So we make the rounds. We get free, like Netflix or Hulu or whatever. We'll get go with the free trials. And we got an Apple TV free trial for some reason. And it's over in 3 weeks.
Better hurry.
We got work to
Crush
do.
it.
Yeah. We got work to do.
Oh, man.
Leah, I'm about 5 episodes into Silo now. So.
Oh, yes.
And
Silo's also Apple TV if you get
I'll
time.
be watching
this
series.
Okay.
Yeah. And also
Dystopian, I need that.
2 episodes left in Peaky Blinders season 6, which is the final season. Yeah. They're gonna conclude this entire series with a movie. That was the plan all along. And you were telling me that it jumped the shark. I actually liked seasons 4 and 5. Yeah. Season 6.
Once you got the big house and that I was done.
Well, part of the problem is Paul was one of the best characters on the show, and she's gone. Sadly, in real life, the actress died before season 6 could be filmed. Taking her out of the mix has really impacted the show. And then Arthur's a mess. He's like he's an addict. And sorry, am I giving too much away here?
I don't think I care. I'm not going to watch it.
If I watch it, I won't understand what you're saying.
It's weakening a bit.
Yeah,
I
got my pleasure and joy out of it.
The movie. I'm done. Curious.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to what I went to last week. I'm going to quarterback. And if you're a sports fan and you want behind the scenes of sports, whether you're a football fan or not, Quarterback on Netflix is absolutely amazing. I've never seen, and we're talking HBO, where they do the training camp thing, where they do Hard Knocks, 24. There has never been a sports show this inside. And when I'm talking about quarterbacks calling plays, you never get to see that. Like, because they're giving away their schemes and their inside secrets. Absolutely, if you're a sports fan, it's a can't miss show. Quarterback on Netflix.
Okay.
I've heard good things.
It's great.
Love Island UK. I'm just kidding. I still am watching. So I actually just watched something, and it's not new. It came out about a year ago, and it's on YouTube. So there's this YouTube channel called Defunctland, and they just do like video essays on like theme parks. And this got sent to me by Shane. It's like the history of fast passes at Disney resorts or Disney parks. It's an hour and 42 minutes.
I get angry.
Is it standing in lines?
It's about lines.
It's about classist society, Petey.
It is. This documentary has 17 million views on YouTube.
Wow.
Defunctland, the history of fast passes. Watch it. It took me 3 days because I did it like in chunks. I never knew something about like the way this was done was so good, and I learned so much. And now I'm like so addicted to this channel that there's so much more I want to watch.
Wow.
So
cool.
Go watch that. That's my like really off the wall suggestion. Aaron, I'm glad you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that's
anybody going to see Barbie or Oppenheimer this weekend?
I might see Barbie, but I'm going to Pine Top this weekend. So
I'm seeing both.
Are you really?
Mm-hmm.
When they come out on streaming, it'll take a week to watch them. No.
You are literally going to do the meme then. So you
separate days.
need to take pictures. And
Separate days. We're not going from one theater to the other.
But
Oh man.
I can out myself with a guilty pleasure too. Since I drive a minivan, I'll throw myself under the proverbial minivan. Below deck. Below deck.
Listen, I'm a reality person. You don't have to prove yourself to me. I mean, I love reality TV. So.
I don't know what it is about that show and people working on a yacht. It's basically like the real world on a yacht. Right? It's basically, but it's the real world, the people working on the yacht. And I don't know what it is about that show, and I'm slightly ashamed to admit it, but at the same time, you just got to be comfortable with it. And so that's a good bingeable show. Previous seasons of Below Deck. Highly recommend.
Yes.
Just kicked Mike's back in the head. Sorry.
Yes. All right. Well, this is Patrick's first time in the studio. Gave him the full tour and all of our set decor, a lot of it provided by our friends at FOCO, the leading manufacturer of sports and entertainment merchandise, with a product line that includes apparel, accessories, toys, collectibles, novelty items, and more. They have your back for Arizona sports, so get the best gear around by visiting foco.com, that's FOCO.com, and using code PHNX. And for all non-presale items, use code PHNX for 10% off. Also, become a diehard today. It's a great time to become a diehard because we are here giving you 5 days a week of hockey content all throughout the off season. Craig has diehard only pieces weekly, and the mailbag is coming.
Yeah, there'll be a call for questions today.
So if you want to read that, you got to be a diehard.
And down the road, just so people know, we might have some PD diehard content coming. Some new PD.
That might be a little teaser because it might be sooner than you think.
Yep. So become a diehard today. Join our family. Join the diehard Discord. Great conversations in there daily. You also get 20% off merchandise, 20% off events as well. And check out phnxlocker.com to grab all of your Arizona sports gear. We always have a ton of great events going on as well. So you can check out the events calendar. Go phnx.com/events. The Women's World Cup watch party tonight. We got a D-backs takeover on Tuesday, the 25th. And we have our last Knockout Nights Cornhole tournament coming up August 4th as well at the BetMGM Sportsbook. So tons of great stuff on the docket at PHNX. Before we wrap up, I know we've been going long, but I do want to just make sure we read some of the dad jokes from the chat. Jacob, if we can go back to that tab and we'll run through. Dan, what do you call a French man wearing sandals? Philippe Philop.
I like that one. I haven't heard that one.
Tim, what musical genre are national anthems? Country.
Solid.
Love it. Another one from Tim. Of all the inventions of the last 100 years, the dry erase board has to be the most remarkable.
That's really good.
Good one.
Yeah, that's good.
Nicholas, my neighbor gave me a new roof for free. He said it was on the house.
Yeah, nice.
Great. Charles, everyone knows where the Big Apple is, but not many know where the mini apple is. All right, Tim, a more furniture ad and dad joke.
Wow.
Tim, man of the people. I've had a long history with my furniture. Me and my recliner go way back.
Good one.
Don't hate.
Awesome. Caleb, April showers bring May flowers. What do May flowers bring? Pilgrims.
I like it.
Joel, I didn't sleep well last night. Thank the maker that I had coffee.
Huh?
I don't know if I got that one.
I missed that.
Okay, Joel, feel free to elaborate. Michael, a horse walks into a bar. The bartender says, "Why the long face?"
Oh.
I've heard that one before. Charles, what's the difference between black-eyed peas and chickpeas? Black-eyed peas can sing a song. Chickpeas can hummus one.
That's solid.
That's a good one,
Did you hear about
Charles.
the chameleon that couldn't change color? He had a reptile dysfunction.
Oh,
That's good.
my goodness.
You know, I don't know much about Switzerland, but their flag's a big plus.
Anyone?
Is this the end of the show yet?
I just checked out a book on anti-gravity at the library. Haven't been able to put it down.
Anyone else? Anyone else before we wrap
No,
up here?
I'll do.
We got to give
something.
DJ a shout out.
What's an
though.
astronaut's favorite
yeah.
key on a keyboard? Spacebar.
Oh my lord. Unreal, Patrick.
Ba-dum-bum.
By the way, we didn't have a Circle K read today, but Patrick literally walked
Right,
in.
like of all the days not
I
to have
know.
one.
He walked in with a pole. I said, Patrick, is that a polar pop? Like, he came prepared,
You know what
Patrick.
Petey likes about Polar Pops?
They don't sweat.
They don't
Oh
sweat.
yeah,
The
that's
cups
right.
don't sweat.
I imagine these are horrible for the
I
environment.
ordered a
though.
chicken and
It's okay.
Like
They're
Patrick.
great.
I ordered a chicken and an egg from Amazon.
Let me know.
I'll let you know.
Wow. He was prepared.
What did the grapes say when I stood on it? Nothing. He just gave out a little wine.
What did the green grape say to the purple grape?
I don't know.
Breathe, damn you, breathe.
I can't with this.
Did you hear what happened when the blue ship and the red ship collided?
Purple
No.
ship? Something?
All the sailors were maroon.
Oh. I tried.
Did you hear about the restaurant they opened up on the moon?
Yes, I have actually. It's good food, but no atmosphere.
That's it. That's it. That's a good one.
Okay.
All right.
It's
To
time to
wrap
go.
up, I'm going to throw it to Craig for a final message.
Well, Petey knows DJ too, though.
Yes.
I think you've already. You can chime in a little bit, and I'll do the read here.
No, I just want to talk about someone that works in our building. DJ works in security in the front door here at the
Keeps us all safe.
at our building here in downtown Phoenix. She's a wonderful human being, and she's super nice to us every time we come in. Remembers us all by name. She's wonderful, and she's got a charity that she supports, and we just want to help her. She volunteers her time with some of the homeless teens in the Phoenix metro area, and they're desperately in need of clothing and towels. So they're doing a clothing drive for the homeless teenagers in the city of Phoenix. And Craig, do you have some more information?
Yeah, FIRE stands for Fostering Independent Relationships Experiences. It's mentoring, right? So they're running the clothing drive, as you mentioned. You've already brought some bags in. I'm bringing some in on Monday. You can drop them off at a downtown YMCA. It's geared toward helping young adults who have experienced homelessness. Really geared toward men too, right? I believe. Yeah. So obviously we're both bringing in, but you can contact firementoring@gmail.com to chat with them about donating. We have one Instagram handle there. Another is Fire Mentoring @Fire So if you want to get involved and help a good friend of PHNX,
and just Google fire mentoring,
Yeah.
and if you need more information, and just help out, because it's hot and it's sad and
brutal.
it's scary
Yeah.
when you don't have those opportunities.
Yeah.
So.
And it's just if you're going through your closet and your drawers this weekend, or
Yep.
doing a
Yeah.
switch over,
I got 2 bags.
put a
100%.
bag aside and give it to a good cause. So shout out, we appreciate DJ for the work that she does here and to support the community. And this has been a week full of a community, and on this show in particular, the Coyotes community, because Patrick, it's been so great getting to know you over these last 2 years as well, or has it just been a year? Oh my gosh. Feels like forever.
It does feel like we were talking about, what was it? Winston Churchill's.
Yeah.
And that
was a year ago.
was only a year ago.
Feels
It feels
like
like that
2.
could have been 5 years ago.
Crazy.
And I mean, certainly we saw each other around before I even worked for the Coyotes when I was with the hockey writers, but appreciate you guys having me on. You've got, our fans are amazing. I know it goes without saying. Your diehards are amazing. It's people come up to me at Mullet, and I don't understand why they want to come up to me. I still don't, but it's amazing. It's an amazing community. The team, we feel the same way, and just, lucky to have all the support that we have. So thanks for having me on too, guys. It was
awesome.
Thanks,
a lot
Patrick.
of fun.
This
It was
was
a lot
awesome.
of fun. Sorry, Jacob. I know I took you.
Jacob's
way
the dad
over.
too, so he's in on the dad jokes. Oh man, well, this has been great. Thank you again, Patrick, and thank you to the chat for chiming in with your comments. As always, be sure to give this video a like while you're here on YouTube, and if you're listening on audio, you can leave us a review there as well. You can follow each of us on Twitter at @SPetersHockey, at Leah Merrill. You can follow Patrick at PBrownHockey. You can follow Craig at CraigisMorgan. You follow Jacob at Jacob_Franklin4. Follow the show at PHNX_Coyotes. And we will see everybody next week, Monday through Friday, live at 11 a.m. Until then, though, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Stay cool, and we will see everyone on Monday.